As we look forward to continuing to build this bridge to this journey to Mars that we've undertaken, I really see three major risks for that human performance element. And I see those as health, communication, and then really, I guess, the work. And I'll explain those. So I think the most important one is really the health aspect. We've done a tremendous job on the International Space Station, learning lessons from the Space Shuttle program about how to maintain astronaut health for these long duration expeditions. We've done a good job of, I think, mitigating bone loss and muscle atrophy and cardiovascular deconditioning. I think applying those lessons, though, to future exploration, to the Mars mission, is going to be very difficult because we're not going to be able to bring along maybe a treadmill and an exercise bike and this amazing advanced resistive exercise device, the ARED weightlifting machine that we have. It's too much stuff. And so transferring the lessons of preserving astronaut health and weightlessness to this Mars mission, I think, is going to be a challenge. And then the second part of that, probably the most concerning aspect to my mind, is just the radiation environment. We just truly have not characterized the effect of galactic cosmic radiation on human health and the long-term effects of that radiation. So I really see that as the first risk. The second risk is communication. We're going to be in a period of asynchronous communication, and that really drives the need for the crew to be able to respond to emergencies, both with the vehicle and with the crew members. So medical issues and equipment issues, we'll have to be able to do that, much of that autonomously. And again, there's limited transfer of experience from the space station program to the Mars journey because, frankly, when I was on the space station, we would probably have an alarm ring once every couple of weeks, if not more frequently. And we would respond to that as trained, but for the most part, the ground has more insight into the issue than we do. And so frequently we would call down and the ground would say, hey, we see that warning, nothing for you right now, we'll get back to you. And the ground would work it. And that's going to have to change as we go to Mars. The individuals on the spacecraft are going to have a very deep knowledge of the systems in order to be able to deal with those. Or we're going to have a more robust procedure system that will help us, will drive us down to be able to fix the equipment. And so that communication issue, having time delays of up to 20 minutes, I think is really going to have an effect on operations and our ability to respond. Along with that communication piece is really the separation from family and friends. So currently, on the space station, we're able to call down on our internet protocol phone. We can have video conferences, and we're not going to be able to do that. It's going to be more like sending brief video messages of one another back and forth, or almost like texting or email, where you're able to send notes and then you would have to wait for a response. So we'll need to get, as crew members on this mission, we'll have to get used to that mode of communication. And then I think the final challenge is the work. So we will, on the space station, we stay very busy, but I think that we maintain a really good balance of work and rest. So we're very busy during the week. We have very packed schedules, but it's the right amount of work, and it's very useful work. We feel like the research that we're doing on the space station is meaningful, and we're invested in that, and we want to produce the best science possible to return that to the scientists who have invested so much work in getting that science to the space station. As we go to Mars, we'll need to make sure that we have useful, meaningful work for the crews to do, because as it stands on the space station, we work hard and then we typically get our weekends off. And that's an opportunity to rest and recuperate, and that's critically important for the crews as well, to manage, to minimize fatigue so that when they go to work, they are alert and and ready to execute. And when we go to Mars, we want to avoid periods of boredom. We want to avoid just make work where we're trying to come up with things for the crews to do. It's very transparent when you're doing things that are just to keep you busy, and that can be frustrating. And so in order, I think, to really maintain crew readiness and peak performance, we have to have a good balance of meaningful, useful work, as well as protection of downtime to prevent fatigue.